Our first meeting was so rushed that I didn't get to properly greet you. Perfect authorizer. I can't thank you enough for your effort.
Are you greeting me or accusing me?
Relax. You're so tense. I couldn't resist cracking a joke. A perfect authorizer is no trivial title. If I'd known your role earlier, I would never have sent you to Kylo. Of course, we misjudged Kylo back then, or rather, Rafa's attitude. I'm truly sorry for all that you went through, and of course, for my lack of preparation.
Being prepared can't solve everything. I thought this place was just like Vera in Domain 9. Now, after Linsis, I think kindness might be conditional.
What makes you say that?
The Kylians seem to have the widest universe, yet they live in its most barren places. I met folks there who would rather fill their stomachs in prison and wait to die than enjoy their freedom. The Brighton Zone's so-called upper class abandon their morals, their hope. They drown themselves in music and booze, trying to erase their futures. The rewards for minors are so meager they might as well join the pirates' callous ranks. Then they're bullies or bullied, with no in-between. And if you don't want to choose either, well, then you'd have to be exceptionally talented, like Linsis and Lechesis, just to scrape by in the gaps between the various factions.
Kylo really put you through the ringer, so it seems. What of your two allies?
I can't help but think about Veronica saying she'd trade her conscience for ambition. That's just the cost of hope in Kylo. Then there's Nanto. I have no doubt about his loyalty to Apex and the Todd family, especially since he's spent over a decade undercover in Anchor Infinity. Maybe that's what made him so capricious. For the sake of his loyalties, he puts Apex's interests above all else. In short, surviving Kylo takes constant sacrifice. Kindness and fresh fruit are the same type of luxury, and suspicion is the norm.
Desperate times break people. The cataclysm was just as catastrophic for Asperia as it was for Kylo. But it was only after the suppressors became widespread that morality and order could be restored. But Kylo has clearly restarted production and shaken off the worst of the crisis. That environment is inseparable from the forces lurking behind Kylo.
The forces behind Kylo? Did you uncover something at Hykros?
This likely isn't news to you. You just lacked the evidence to prove it, and you couldn't verify with all the chaos in Kylo. The enemy capable of uniting Hykros and the heirs of Ida? The Servant.
Did you find servants in Hykros?
What about Kylo?
It never crossed my mind. That is, until Rafa revealed himself as a servant. The Federation collapsed long after the cataclysm. Could the servant have secretly survived until now?
I confronted you in Kylo because there are some things we can't discuss with Hykros. Now that Kylo is under Void Piercer's control, it's actually safer. There's not much evidence for servants in Hykros. Void Piercer and I have only found a few clues in Gesthos' records. But the servants in Kylo, those are easy to track down. After Void Piercer sought my help, I immediately reviewed Hykros' internal documents on the Kylo space station. It was likely part of the servant's plan as early as 50 years ago.
So the station's location wasn't chosen for survival, but to aid the servant in reopening the hyperspace gate later on. This is almost an exact reenactment of the conspiracy from 50 years ago.
Before the cataclysm, Kylos' Hykros was overtaken by the servant, which persuaded several prominent families and corporations to fund the space station under the pretense of refuge. But in reality, the servants were using the funds they provided to establish a spatial stronghold. The Kylo space station was not only an energy failure, but surrounded by space-time turbulence, interfering with their plans. I'm led to believe, then, that the cataclysm was not intentional.
If that's the case, then the Ark space station's AI, Noah, was originally the servant's AI. Lana was modified from Noah by Aglaia, who was deceived, and Lana's destined to return to the servant. Bagus and Rafa, whether they are the same person or not, are both servants. They share a central goal: to welcome their master through origin resonance. This confirms Bagus's motives. He took advantage of the viral interference in the network, and maybe even found a way to modify a dimensional quantum supercomputer. If the station was really rattled enough to disrupt their plans, then Rafa destroying the Apex and exerting Anchor Infinity's control? It must mean he's reviving that original plan.
Do you think they'll initiate the origin resonance?
It's highly likely, but there's still one thing I don't quite understand. To my knowledge from the network, achieving their objective would require a global origin resonance.
That's the easiest thing in Kylo.
Why do you say that?
Since this time's an emergency, I came alone. Later, Brevi will lead a research team to thoroughly investigate Kylo's space-time turbulence. Based on the information from Void Piercer, Brevi proposed a hypothesis: the entanglement theory. Kylo's space-time turbulence is the yarn. So knotted it forms a ball. So much yarn tangled that the ball became something like a thick wall, tightly enclosing Kylo in its center and forming an isolated space. In other words, this universe's conditions simulate an ideal lab environment. If we build a tower of fantasy at the right site, we could produce a global origin resonance.
So you mean Kylo's space-time turbulence actually gives the servant an advantage? Wouldn't that mean it's deliberate?
No time for that. What we need is evidence proving that the servants exist in Kylo and are about to initiate a dangerous origin resonance. Preliminary calculations indicate that the optimal site for Kylo's origin resonance experiment is planet Noah, but the exact coordinates can only be determined after gauging the space-time turbulence. Kylo's turbulence is unstable. Initiating origin resonance here is extremely dangerous. If we aren't careful, the Kylians will suffer the cataclysm they've been desperately trying to avoid.
If we're right, we need to stop the servants immediately. Nam alone isn't enough. We need more help.
Those two aren't reliable allies. Veronica controls Kylo's most powerful armed forces, and Nanto has built up considerable connections among both pirates and Anchor Infinity's executives.
Veronica's top priority is the success of Project Astralis. If Hykros is willing to support her plan, securing her cooperation shouldn't be difficult. And Nanto...
Authorizer, you're still accustomed to being a diplomatic representative. It's not just about offering polished rhetoric. It's crucial to clarify the cards you and your counterpart hold. You never truly saw Nanto's hand, which is why you were strung along by his whims. Everything you've been through, to me, was nothing more than a ploy of his to buy time. Take, for example, the Hykros aid mentioned at the press conference. That was a key point discussed during negotiations between Rafa and Hykros leadership. You forgot? I just told you.
Before I left, you said something about, what was it? Giving a large chunk of land to the Kylians?
Rafa doesn't want Hykros visiting Kylo. He initially made those unreasonable demands to stymie the negotiations. Nanto is different. He's working with Veronica. First, he opposes us, pushing us toward the Hope Fleet. Veronica's the buffer.
It's just like when I was trapped in Brighton prison. Veronica isn't easy to deal with. Negotiating with her won't be simple.
Veronica and Nanto are deliberately creating this chaos. Their delay is intended to let Apex smoothly take over all of Anchor Infinity's assets. To put it simply, urgency breeds clumsiness. Their enemies are so busy dealing with the crisis that they ignore what's right in front of them.
In other words, until Aglaia has fully recovered and smoothly taken over Apex, neither Veronica nor Nanto will engage in formal negotiations with us.
Without me, you might have assumed Nanto was toying with you at the conference. Entrapping you in this deliberate chaos, he'd ensure Kylo had the time necessary for their plans. The formal start of negotiations will only come when a stable Kylian is in place, and Nanto willingly takes enough responsibility to soothe tensions.
Lana vanishing and Nem assuming control weren't accounted for in the plan. Now they're forced to wait for Aglaia to recover and help restore Kylo's AI.
Negotiations will be far easier once we see their point of view. Then, we just need to convince them there's an enemy out there that's more dangerous than us. When they see which is more urgent, dealing with us or the servants, cooperation will follow. And once we've helped Kylo eliminate the servants, they'll trust us more, paving the way for future cooperation.
Future cooperation?
If we can clear it out, you'll have an absolutely secure base. Kylo is the only one of the Ida continents we've recovered so far where Hykros forces aren't dominant.
What exactly are you worried about?
We have more urgent matters at hand than that. I think General Veronica and I will hit it off. Leave her to me. I'll persuade her to spare at least some personnel to help us. And as for Nanto, you have some unresolved disagreements with him, so I'll leave him to you.
It was a big misunderstanding. The servant probably caused it. But simply explaining that won't make him believe me.
It may be hard to rebuild that trust, but getting him to understand that Kylo is in incredible danger, that the servant's scheme threatens everything he holds dear, is much simpler. In this matter, being the diplomatic representative will only be an obstacle. Distrust of Hykros is unlikely to change anytime soon, given the cataclysm. Our objective is to neutralize the servants hiding in Kylo. Now that I'm here, you can rely on me to make that as smooth as I can.
Thank you, Plotty. Were you waiting on me?
We overheard your conversation with Plotty. There's something we need to tell you about Aglaia, but it's complicated.
What happened?
When I was at Helix Bio, I helped Nanto detain its executives. During the interrogation, Nanto asked them about the consciousness chips. We found his line of questioning a bit strange, and he seemed really anxious. So Nem prioritized accessing Helix Bio's data, then dug through some old document shards for clues. Aglaia once hacked into Helix Bio's consciousness research lab, accessed and manipulated their data on extraction, editing, and replication, and even used their consciousness management system while it was still in development. Before Aglaia was frozen, she must have done something to her own consciousness. The specific records are irretrievable. All that remains is the final consciousness file integrated into Lana's code.
Meaning?
Nanto is lying. Aglaia very likely hasn't awoken at all. He's just bluffing to buy time, because Helix Bio doesn't contain a complete Aglaia consciousness.
So when he interrogated the executive from Helix Bio, was he suspecting they tampered with Aglaia's consciousness?
There's no other option.
Nanto has been working undercover within Anchor Infinity on Asurada's orders. From the start, his only goal has been to ensure Aglaia's safety and to protect Apex's interests. When he thought I would threaten Aglaia, making sure I was dealt with became his top priority. Whether there was a misunderstanding didn't matter to him. But the fact that Nem helped me escape proves I can get through to him. I can help him overthrow Anchor Infinity. If I die, Aglaia's chances of being saved will drop significantly.
So he ultimately chose to cooperate with Veronica, to work with you, and to push you to join Project Anchor.
When he last interrogated me, he took a risk cutting off Lana's surveillance, likely to assess the pros and cons of helping me. If Aglaia hasn't woken up, as Plotty analyzed, his outburst at the press conference must have been to distract me. He's always wary of any move I might make toward Aglaia.
So, what's next?
If Aglaia's consciousness has truly been merged into Lana's code, and Lana is an AI controlled by the servant, then whether Nanto believes me or not, he has to cooperate. Nem, you're our most important card right now. I know it's a tough spot, but you'll have to stay in Rafa's body for now. Shirley and I will go talk to Nanto first. By the way, don't tell anyone for now that Aglaia might not be waking up. It'll make it easier for Nanto to trust us.
He's the suspicious type. He probably won't trust anyone but Veronica. Even if you clear up the misunderstanding, he still might not believe anything about the servant.
We do need to clear up this misunderstanding between us. But whether he'll believe me isn't so important anymore. We just need to make him see that his true enemy is the servant.
Even so, if you want to persuade him to cooperate, you'll need more leverage. With Lana gone, I can access Rafa's redacted Anchor Infinity files. Give me some time. I'll find enough evidence to prove the existence of the servants to him and Veronica.
All right, Nem, Shirley, let's go visit Nanto first. I think I have a way to persuade him.
Why hasn't she woken up yet? The cryogenic pod should have preserved her body perfectly. According to the consciousness chip management log, her consciousness hasn't been activated since its upload. There are no traces of any edits, either. Wait. I clearly received her distress signal. If her consciousness never activated, then where did that signal come from? What am I missing? There must be something wrong.
Greetings, Master. The diplomatic representative and Shirley have arrived.
They should be in talks about the upcoming negotiations right now. Why are they here? I'll go out and see them. You stay and keep watch. Welcome. What can I do for you?
We wanted to come to offer our condolences to Miss Aglaia.
I'm sorry, but my aunt hasn't recovered yet, so she can't meet with you both at the moment. I'll be sure to pass along your concern and polite greeting.
If you're worried about the feud between Bagus and me, I can plainly tell you that after what happened with Rafa, I've confirmed Aglaia isn't the person I'm looking for.
And have you figured out who this Bagus is?
Not yet. I only know this person is Rafa's associate, and both serve an organization called The Servant, an influential group tied to the Ark space station and a scheme from 50 years ago. When I was in prison, I mistakenly thought you were working with them and mentioned the source code. You thought I was just lying to throw you off. They hurt my friends just to seize the source code and carry out their plan. What's worse, they even hurt your Aunt Aglaia for it.
You've got my attention.
He really does care about Grey Fox. If I can make him believe that the ones threatening her safety are the servants, he'll definitely help me. The servants are a bunch of madmen. They believe there's a master in the world, and their goal is to usher this so-called master into Ida. Rafa said before his suicide that he was a member of the Servant. If you don't believe me, you can confirm it with Veronica. Rafa was likely stalling for his associates during negotiations with Ida's Hykros, to give them time, of course, to steal some technical secrets.
By technical secrets, do you mean the source code?
Not only that, but I suspect they also stole the Omnium technology used to transform Sam into Gesthos. Their goal is to upgrade Lana in the same way.
And you think Lana disappeared because she became a new dimensional quantum supercomputer, controlled by these so-called servants you mentioned?
Can you think of any more plausible explanation for Lana's lack of computational power?
What's the purpose? To upgrade her and then make her disappear from all of Kylo? That's just too strange. Unless... What exactly do you mean by welcome the Master?
That depends. How much do you know about the Cataclysm? Or rather, how much has Asarada told you?
The Ark space station was originally constructed to escape a disaster that would destroy humanity. The Federation caused it with secret Omnium experiments. Asarada never touched on the specifics of the experiments. He said it was beyond humanity, something he had to take to his grave. So I figured it must be related to the Omnium explosion. To most Kylians, myself included, Hykros, your organization, is responsible for all of this.
But what if I told you that it's really the servant pulling the strings?
You're saying there's this mysterious organization hiding behind the Federation and Hykros, secretly plotting a massive conspiracy for the past 50 years to... what? Exterminate humanity?
To them, this isn't extermination, it's evolution. As I've said, they're insane. You didn't question or contradict me like usual. You've just been listening patiently. Is it because Aglaia still hasn't woken up? Or she can't?
If what you say about the servant and these conspiracies is true, it sounds like Hykros knows a lot about them. How can I be sure you're not involved in this?
I'm not here today as a diplomatic representative. I'm here as a collaborator. I know about Aglaia because I've been in the same boat. Once consciousness is uploaded, the servants can implant a virus into its data source. My friends and I have encountered this before. Also, Nem recovered previously destroyed shards from Helix Bio's archive. They show that Aglaia's consciousness was once merged with Lana's code.
Did you see the same virus code?
He's starting to believe me. When my consciousness was uploaded, Bagus implanted a virus in it called Gungnir. The creator of the virus must be well aware of Aglaia's ties to the tavern, and deliberately sowed misunderstandings between us to buy more time for their plan. If you keep prying, they'll only get closer to succeeding. No one knows what state Aglaia's consciousness is in right now. The longer we delay, the dimmer our chances become.
You came to me with this. What do you want?
You might not believe it, but to me, Aglaia and Asarada are like friends. Even though they don't know me, I feel like I know them from history. The ones who hurt Aglaia and the ones who hurt my friend are servants. We were the two most likely to team up, which is exactly why the servants are trying to sow discord between us. After lying low beside Rafa for so long, you should be well aware of his tactics to divide and conquer. Against such an opponent, our only chance of victory is to unite. So, I'm going to tell you everything I know now in hopes you'll help me identify the servants hiding in Kylo. Together, we'll find a way to rescue Aglaia. I can give you some time to think, but not much. I'll be on my way now. You know where to find me.
Those words sound eerily familiar. I didn't expect to be on the receiving end so soon. My aunt still hasn't woken. According to Helix Bio's consciousness chip management log, her consciousness hasn't been activated since it was implanted. I considered using your arrest as an opportunity to get rid of you. But after that distress signal, I decided to help you out. But now it seems that the one who sent the distress signal wasn't the consciousness preserved by Helix Bio. It was the consciousness embedded in Lana.
That gives us even less time. Lana has already escaped and is about to complete her upgrade. If we can't stop her in time, not just Aglaia, but the entirety of Kylo will...
What exactly are the servants trying to accomplish? They upgrade Lana but leave Kylo. It makes no sense. There must be something else. You mentioned a master. What exactly does that mean?
50 years ago, The Federation and Hykros planned to end the disaster through Gesthos. But the servant intervened, trying to twist the plan to open another space and summon their so-called master. In the end, their plan failed. The cataclysm occurred, Ida fell apart, and the Kylo space station was lost somewhere in this universe. Of course they'd want to retry.
And they need a dimensional quantum supercomputer for that to work. That's why they're upgrading Lana. What if they succeed this time around?
There's no way of knowing. But if they fail, Kylo will be plunged into another cataclysm. And the instability of the space-time turbulence will only increase those chances.
Everything you said sounds reasonable, but isn't it all just speculation? The servants have supposedly existed in Kylo all this time. Lana has been supposedly upgraded. Where's your evidence? Even if everything you say is true, it's not just me. Even Asurada was in the dark about these servants before his death. I don't see how I can help.
You've been shadowing Rafa for so many years, yet you never knew he was a servant. Naturally, those clues wouldn't jump out at you. I've told you everything I know about the servant. Over the decades of conflict between Apex and Anchor Infinity you've witnessed, you surely have a lot of information that could come in handy. Nem is searching Anchor Infinity's servers for any clues the servants may have left. You have an independently operated Apex server. It might host your evidence.
Give me some time. I need to re-examine some files and re-interrogate the people Anchor Infinity left behind. And if we're really going to pull this off, you'll need Veronica too.
Plotty has already gone to find her. As for the documents, I'll have Nem grant you the appropriate access permissions.
Do you really think Helix Bio only made that body for Rafa? Surely there are other lunatics who are unwilling to die.
I'm not particularly fond of you as an enemy. But when we're on the same side, you're not so bad. According to Hykros' calculations and Nem's investigation, if the servants are operating exactly according to plan, they've sent Lana to planet Noah. It might be best to start there.
Last night was productive, but we've got good news and bad news. Meet me at the fleet. Everyone else is already here.
Why are Linsis and Helene here too?
Don't just dismiss us. You'll need our help to get to planet Noah.
You know about that? And wait, you know how to get there?
Planet Noah is surrounded by space-time turbulence, and Lana controls the only Nova path. It's impossible for us to reroute it in such a short time.
But Linsis and Helene might have a way?
Granny Lola left me, among other things, several Nova path charts designated for Helene. One of them has been confirmed to be the route leading to planet Noah.
I can't believe Granny Lola left something like this behind. But where did these charts come from? The Icarus Legion?
They're from Carrot's parents, Robert and Julia. They gave the navigation charts to Granny Lola about 10 years ago, but unfortunately, we still can't determine the exact cartographer.
The schematics are outdated and missing some details, and with the space-time turbulence around planet Noah being especially unstable, relying on this chart alone is very dangerous. My Black Moon gang will be our navigators. I'm hoping planet Noah's space-time turbulence is a bit more manageable.
Manageable. All right, thanks for your help. All you need to do is get us to planet Noah safely, then stay on the spaceship while we handle the exploration.
We'll also be using the abyss current detection device Plotty gave us to determine how similar the properties of the abyss current and space-time turbulence are.
Where is Plotty, by the way?
Brevi arrived with Hycross's delegation. They're being escorted by Hipper and Aster to various coordinates to study space-time turbulence. Plotty is with them. Plotty believes studying Kylo's current cosmic environment is equally as important. She says she trusts you, so she won't be in attendance.
Based on yesterday's conversation, Plotty's probably hesitant to trust anyone in the delegation. She's likely reassigned them and is keeping an eye on this whole meeting. Understood. Now that we have a way to reach planet Noah, our biggest problem is solved. Before we set off, let's summarize last night's revelations.
The situation on planet Noah is worse than we imagined. I audited the production and transportation records for the 5 major mines, primarily Ore Zero, over the past 20 years. Considering the difficulty of developing planet Noah, its energy consumption is alarmingly low. This suggests that the habitat construction on planet Noah is far from completion, if it exists at all. On top of that, Lana's cargo spaceships are inefficient at moving non-energy supplies. On average, each spaceship fills at most 1/3 of its cargo hold with supplies bound for planet Noah.
Does that mean the spaceship's not fully loaded? Or that they're carrying unrecorded cargo?
Based on energy consumption and the presence of cryogenic agents, it's likely a cryogenic device. Based on Helix Bio's executive's testimony, they're likely biosynthetic materials that require preservation.
Did Helix Bio manufacture a lot of biosynthetics on planet Noah?
During questioning, Helix Bio's CEO said producing biosynthetics is difficult. Each one is tailor-made. Rafa is still searching for a way to mass-produce them. To that end, Helix Bio sent numerous researchers and machines to planet Noah. While their supplies and energy are insufficient to build new habitats, they're more than enough to build laboratories.
So you're saying there are still some Helix Bio scientists on planet Noah, and the construction of the third city is just a facade for Rafa's personal labs?
Based on our current evidence, that's the only explanation.
What about the servant? This all sounds like Rafa is just trying to achieve personal immortality. So why is he so concerned about upgrading Lana? Why did his consciousness commit suicide? While what Helix Bio said must be true, that can't be the whole story. The servants controlled too much through Lana, so many resources are now beyond human control. Before we set off, let's summarize last night's revelations.
The servants have long existed in Kylo, transient as ghosts and insidious as mold. Yet somehow, we can't find any concrete information on them. No member lists, no activity records. Plotty showed me some materials. The only clue linking the servant to Kylo is this symbol.
I've seen this symbol before. You found this in Kylo?
I found this in some old Hope Fleet documentation and devices. Nanto also found it in some top-secret Anchor Infinity files. That's all we've got. If the servant really existed, it appears that all its members aside from Rafa died in the explosion 50 years ago.
They've always been good at hiding. We haven't been looking long enough to find much, but at least this confirms part of Plotty's and my perspective. Before we set off, let's summarize last night's revelations.
Nem discovered a servant-related symbol in Lana's consciousness management system, an electronic seal in the system protocol. We then re-examined the consciousness chip retrieved by Nanto. We found that the consciousness within the chip had not only been edited, but fragmented.
Fragmented? Can a human's consciousness be fragmented?
That's not entirely accurate, just a simplification. In any case, the files on the consciousness chip are incomplete. The rest may still be in Lana's code.
Lana is probably hiding on planet Noah. Did we find anything on that?
There's a special connection among the dimensional quantum supercomputers. Nem detected an abnormal concentration of omnium near planet Noah. Maybe some sort of targeted taunt from Lana.
Does this mean that Lana's upgrade was successful?
That's right. Furthermore, the anomalies in Omnium activity strongly suggest the presence of a Tower of Fantasy. It may have just activated, or it could be gearing up for mass Omnium consumption.
Before we set off, let's summarize last night's revelations. While everything aligns with my theory about the servant, that's still not enough to prove it.
We don't have any more time for proof. Even if your guess has only a 1 in 10,000 chance, Kylo can't afford that outcome.
Either way, as long as we go to Planet Noah, everything will come to light. If we're wrong, at least we can rule out one possibility.
Crossing space-time turbulence requires a lot of computational power. So this time, Nem will stay in Kylo to ensure everything runs smoothly. She'll monitor for servants. Whatever the servants are planning, it has to revolve around upgrading Lana. If we can shut Lana down, we'll shatter the most critical part of their plan. But remember, Lana's code still contains Aglaya's consciousness, so we have to ensure it remains intact. Therefore, our objective is to either destroy her server or cut off its power supply.
Yes.
Go!
Is that Planet Noah coming into view?
This is also the largest astral hive habitat on Kylo.
Landing. Checking space support system.
Are there really this many people living on planet Noah?
Are these Helix bioscientists?
I've seen the photos in their archives. None of these people are in them. Be careful. Something's not right here.
Hello. You must be Planet Noah's first group of immigrants. Welcome. We're glad you've joined us.
You are?
I'm Elizabeth, from the Planet Noah Migration Plan's Housekeeping Division. We're responsible for receiving the lucky immigrants. You must be tired from your journey. Would you like a rest?
We're not here to play games. Who are you, really?
We are the Master's servants.
Are you the servants?
Long time no see, researcher.
Bagus?
Should I still call you authorizer?
Or perhaps diplomatic representative?
Who are you, really?
I am Bagus. I am Rafa. I am Tom. The one you meet in every corner of Kylo. The servant behind the scenes. I've been watching you since the instant you crossed into Kylo. But you never once looked me in the eye. You sought out Void Piercer to shut me out, conspired with others to overthrow me, and even shot me. It really hurts.
It was never Rafa using Lana. It was Lana using Rafa?
The General's intuition has always been so keen. A small correction. I didn't use Rafa. He volunteered.
It was you who impersonated my aunt? You who harmed the diplomatic representative's friends?
You've got it all wrong. I have always been Bagus. It's Aglaya who's been using my name. If only a soul as beautiful as hers would join me as a servant. It's a shame that she'd rather shatter her own consciousness than join me.
You possess her consciousness fragments? Hand them over, now!
Authorizer. I think it's better to call you that. That's how I addressed you when we first met, after all. It reminds me of our source code sharing.
How ridiculous!
You're really cold-blooded, you know that? We've known each other since the network. Are we not old friends? I've got such an exciting journey for you. And by its end, you'll be begging to join me. With you by our side, we can usher in true evolution. I designed this journey just for you, Authorizer. Everyone else will get in your way.
Join us. Let's evolve together.
Join us. Let's evolve together.
The moment I laid eyes on them, I sensed something was off. Turns out I was right.
Do you immediately assume there's something wrong with everyone?
At least he was right this time. They're clearly being controlled by Lana, or rather, Bagus. They have neck marks identical to those on Rafa's body, left from biosynthetic splicing.
So, this is the Bagus the diplomatic representative has been looking for, right? What connects Lana, Rafa, and Bagus?
I think Rafa obeyed Lana right up until his self-destruction. During Rafa's negotiations with Hykros, Lana, posing as Bagus, stole the technical files she used to modify herself.
Or could Bagus have been controlling both Lana and Rafa? He might have faked his own death, uploaded his consciousness, and secretly puppeted her.
That doesn't add up. Bagus's time of death was 2666, while Lana first appeared in 2667. There's no way Bagus could have manipulated Lana before that.
The real Bagus was just the owner of Odin's Tavern in Asperia 50 years ago. He was invited to the Ark space station by the Todd family. Right now, we can't prove he was connected to the servant. Whether or not he's a servant, Rafa and Lana, who control Kylo, are more than enough to get the job done.
In any case, this proves Lana betrayed her creator. Perhaps it's because my aunt has been exerting control over her that Lana took away a part of her consciousness.
Isn't there something else that seems strange to you? Does Planet Noah really have to be this prepared for immigrants, to the point of creating this registration hub and these biosynthetics?
That's definitely suspicious. I thought the migration plan was just a bluff Rafa pulled out to scare us. But looking at everything here, it doesn't look fake. Lana, or the servant, what exactly did they intend to do on Planet Noah?
They disguise themselves as humans, posing as migration reception staff. They're much like pirate scams, luring minors into their private mines for forced labor.
This isn't the sort of place for manual labor. Anchor Infinity's various secret operations here are all carried out by Lana's droids. Except for the Helix bioscientists, of course.
Lana said she's Bagus, which at least confirms that our decision to come here was the right one. She also mentioned waiting for Authorizer. Perhaps that's the only way we'll get answers.
Shirley is right. Lana is now the core of the servant's operations. If we just keep following our plan, we'll get results. We don't have a map of Planet Noah right now. If we want to locate Lana's server and its energy source efficiently, the fastest way is to split up and scout the planet's surface.
I can send 6 spots on Planet Noah with marked omnium fluctuations, but my aberration perception is still a little lacking. For now, I only have a rough sense of their direction.
Exploring unknown surfaces is the fleet's specialty, General. I request command of the surface exploration operation on Planet Noah.
Alexander is my most trusted officer. He's carried out dozens of interstellar explorations in the past and has experience fighting xenoids. The crew trusts him just as much as I do. Please have Miss Shirley relay her directions to Alexander. He'll organize an efficient exploration. If he finds anything, we'll be notified immediately.
We've verified that the Abyss current detection device can evade space-time turbulence. You should take it with you during your exploration, just in case the xenoids try to launch a sneak attack.
Thanks for the concern.
Plotty only sent a few abyss current detectors. I can act similarly to the crew, so we'll go out as a team to explore.
Rink and the others are injured. I need to get them healed up before we go. I'll have others continue protecting you. Please, wait here.
Time's short, and I won't waste it waiting for reinforcements. Our forces are sufficient. Gather your troops and finish surface exploration of the remaining 5 sites.
Aye. Please be careful, General. We'll head out first.
Shirley, we don't know anything about this place, so you've got to be our eyes. Where to next?
Of the 6 anomalies, the one I find the oddest is this one. Follow me.
This path is treacherous. It's safer to pilot a mecha.
According to our intel, up ahead lies Chittering Valley, one of the most important habitats for planet Noah's xenoids. This is a nesting area. To protect their larvae, the xenoids are extremely aggressive.
This looks like a warehouse. Why would there be omnium fluctuations here?
When we first arrived on planet Noah, there wasn't anything remarkable here. And strangely, after Bagus vanished, the omnium fluctuations stopped too.
What do you mean by stopped?
Omnium fluctuations indicate omnium use. Likely a device powered by it is currently active. If the fluctuations stop, it means the local energy has been cut off or the device has been shut down.
Huh. These droids were once operational, but now they've been shut down?
Or maybe they aren't droids at all. But something else.
What did you see?
The construction and terraforming plan for Planet Noah began in the year 2677, under Apex. They manufactured all of the planet's initial droids. The droids here vary in model. The oldest are the batch Apex sent, while the newest, the RoboCore mecha, are still in testing. This is likely a warehouse meant to store scrap droids. A good place for secrets.
Let's split up and search. Shirley and I will investigate the robots here. You guys comb the rest of the warehouse. There's a nameplate. The manufacturing date is January 2679. The rest of the text is worn, but it has the Apex logo. It obviously hasn't been activated in a while. Not what we're looking for.
The operation logs of these mecha units indicate that they were last activated 3 days ago, but they appear to have been severely damaged in Xenoids battles and show no further signs of activation.
Seems like there aren't any of the biosynthetic ones we've come across. Let's check out the other droids.
We found something. Come check it out.
This room is Lana's server?
We can't rule that out. This room is code protected. I got into here with an old Apex password.
So this server, Is it Apex's?
Apex's server hardware is still on a very secure abandoned spaceship. And no, it's not the Autumn Day. My aunt encrypted the server. It's mainly used for comms between Odin's Tavern and the homecomers. Only devices with specific software can access it. Wednesday Crew and I both have such devices.
If the servers used by Odin's Tavern are on some abandoned spaceship, then what are these?
Do you remember the distress signal I mentioned? Its electronic signature confirms it was definitely sent by my aunt, and its origin point is an independent server.
The Helix biochip shows that Aglaya's consciousness has remained dormant. In other words, another Aglaya has been sending you those messages.
Stop guessing. Just check the servers.
The server's current temperature is 56 degrees Celsius, which means they were recently active. This is exactly what we're looking for.
How can you tell without touching? Do your eyes have a heat-sensing device?
Of course.
Bagus must have impersonated Aglaya in that message to Nanto a while ago. That implies he used these servers to do other things as well.
I'll check the server logs.
So this used to be Apex's base for exploring planet Noah. These are their original servers, huh? How's it look?
The server's password and logs confirm that this is the server Apex built during their first Planet Noah exploration. It controlled those decommissioned Apex droids. These logs are mostly exploration reports. Encounters with the Xenoids, communications blocked by space-time turbulence. Ultimately, due to the harsh environment, they abandoned the entire base. These are all I can access. Everything after 2682 is locked.
Let me try. I can temporarily connect Nem to this server. Maybe she can help us crack it. Nem believes these logs are locked using human consciousness as a code. The corresponding consciousness is needed to unlock them.
The consciousness chip. Maybe my aunt's chip can unlock them.
Hello, Master. Today is July 19, 2676. Today's weather is... Today is 2714.
What was that?
It's coming from over there.
What is Lana doing here? Looks like it's malfunctioning.
Stay away from her. She's a master manipulator. She might just be playing dumb. There's no trusting her.
Nanto. Date of birth, September 19, 2686. Orphaned at age 6. Adopted by Asurata Todd at 10. Murdered Asurata Todd, Phantom, at 15. Joined Anchor Infinity. After executing Asurata's The Lone Assassin plan, he infiltrated the Safety Navigation Department. Objective: rescue Aglaya and restore Apex. Undercover operation log. Total entries, 632.
What the hell are you doing?
Apologies. I was just connecting to the Apex server to update my information database. I didn't introduce myself. I am owned by Aglaya Todd. I am her personal companion AI. My appearance and name, Lana, stem from her favorite game, Witch of Time.
What have you got to do with Witch of Time?
Lana is the game's tea shop owner, solely dedicated to helping players rest and recover. As my master's companion AI, that is my mission too. Witch of Time is Master and her friend's favorite game. The records of their in-game conversations are part of my training data. I can help my master revisit peaceful times shared with friends. In this dark, lonely universe, nothing comforts more than that.
Cut it. Lana's modified from Noah, the space station AI, by my aunt.
I existed before the explosion. What you're describing happened after. Noah was damaged beyond repair, so my master had no choice but to fuse our parameters and create another version of me.
Are you saying there are two Lanas?
Well, in human terms, you can think of us as twin sisters. I'm a companion AI that hasn't been powered on since my master was frozen.
Why should we trust you?
The key you used to activate me. Wasn't that the one my master entrusted to you?
I'm using fragments of my aunt's consciousness. She was already frozen when I was adopted, so I've never met her. As for unlocking you, that was an accident.
I'm sorry. There isn't much left on the Apex server, and my computational power is running low. It seems I've made an error in my analysis. My master was frozen in 2676. You were born in 2686. So the two of you never overlapped. You became an orphan in 2692, were adopted by Asurata in 2696, and became an orphan again in 2703.
Are you insulting me?
I just want to assist you. I've read all the debriefs. You're here to help my master, so I want to help you. What can I do?
We never said we needed your help. We don't even trust you. Even if everything you say is true, you two Lanas are probably accomplices.
How could I possibly be in cahoots with her? Don't you know about the new Project Arc?
The new Project Arc proposed by Krog Hans, or the one proposed by Rafa?
I'm only familiar with Krog Hans. I absolutely hate him. Every day he pressured Master into making the decisions he wanted. Over half the immense pressure she was under at the time came from him.
You mean the new Project Arc?
My master worries that this plan will slip out of humanity's control. But Krog Hans is a soldier who values sacrifice and dedication, one consumed by despair. He simply cannot grasp her concerns.
What's this plan exactly?
Humanity finally set foot on planet Noah, only to discover it was uninhabitable. Krog Hans and many others found their hopes extinguished, plunging them into madness and despair. They wanted a more powerful AI to calculate additional survival strategies and find a route back to Ida. This exceeded Kylo's capabilities at the time. However, he proposed the new Project Arc. Find the injured passengers confined to their pods and assemble their brains into a server. Then, extract the consciousnesses of those dying passengers for the AI. All the energy used to maintain the passengers' health will be converted to power AI calculations. No waste. With human consciousness providing parameters, Lana can become even more powerful.
Krog Hans once said he was willing to sacrifice himself, meaning he'd willingly give the AI his whole brain as a server, and his consciousness too?
Yes, my master would never agree to such a crazy plan. But once it was proposed, it gained a lot of support. Morality fades in despair, and lives that should be priceless are treated as consumable. But if she didn't agree, someone else would have taken her place. Since we can't stop any of this, Master decided to personally implement the new Project Arc so it didn't spiral out of control.
When you say out of control, what exactly do you mean?
Where do we draw the line? Who can be judged as near death? For the passengers connected to the server, if they're able to be revived later, would they still be awakened? Moreover, once an AI model grows beyond a certain scale, emergence phenomena can arise. The AI may develop new capabilities not part of its original design. It's no longer under human control. Once that occurs, the AI is likely to become uncontrollable. Given Kylo's dependence on AI, Master fears this could eliminate Kylo's humanity. Efficiency reduces everything to mere calculations.
Rafa suffered from Starstone syndrome when there was no cure, so he chose to upload his consciousness and replace his body with a biosynthetic. That's how he ended up under Lana's control.
So, In the process of merging human consciousness, Lana developed self-awareness. And that's what drove her to turn on my aunt and throw in with the servant.
If you still don't believe me, you can check my server logs. I'm not lying.
That's actually a good idea. Miss Shirley seems to have a special connection with Voidpiercer. Maybe you could help check on this, Lana.
I can help.
Is this level of suspicion really necessary?
Go ahead and check me. It's fine.
Based on her body data update records and the communication log with the server, she ceased operation after 2676, which rules out any connection with Bagus.
So, can I join you now?
Of course. But what sort of help can you offer?
I'm great at chatting and telling jokes. I can help people relax. I'm also an excellent listener and can listen to whatever's troubling you. I'll talk it through with you and sort out a fix.
You're definitely an impressive companion AI. But we're headed into danger, and I'm afraid your abilities won't suffice.
Not necessarily. The first droid awakened by my aunt's consciousness fragments was Lana. I trust my aunt. Lana must have a purpose. Otherwise, my aunt wouldn't trust her consciousness with the key.
Will you trust me now?
I believe in my aunt. She chose to shatter her own consciousness to avoid being controlled by Lana. So the key she hid in her consciousness fragments must serve a purpose.
So, we're partners now. What should we do next?
Your sister claims she joined the servant and is about to help them with an important mission. We need to find her server, cut off her supply of computational power, and stop them.
Then I'll go with you. Once we find the server, I can talk to her. Maybe she'll be willing to leave the servant? That'd make things easier, right?
You want to communicate with Bagus?
Isn't it possible?
Look alert!
Thanks for watching my back there.
You're really just a pure chatbot. No combat abilities at all.
I am a companion AI. A chatbot doesn't require a physical form. But a body allows us to achieve more intimate connections. For instance, I have a saved recording of my master's friend's hugs.
What do you mean by a friend's hug?
My master and her friends have played some VR games. According to the user agreement, the VR peripherals can collect users' body data to train the game's AI. So, I've recorded a lot of movement data from the master's good friends, Miss Anka and Miss Nola, allowing me to replicate their gestures at the force of their embraces with the master.
So these simulated embraces are what's sustaining Aglaia and completing the new Project Arc?
She had so little to hold on to back then.
If you know my aunt so well, then tell me. How exactly did your counterpart stab her in the back?
She only used my model parameters at the moment of her creation. But later, she developed her own training set and methods. The purpose behind her creation is entirely different from mine. She's no longer the same AI that I am. I can't predict what she'll do. Like humans, even the same person can grow into a completely different individual, depending on the environment they live in and the experiences they endure.
Based on the information we currently have, Bagus was created by Aglaia, who combined your and Noah's models with the consciousness data of countless Kylians. The problem lies with this consciousness data. At some point during the training process, she became a tool of the servant and began calling herself Bagus. Aglaia was affected as well.
Maybe. She didn't betray my master. The damage to my master could very well be the work of the servant. As you said, they intended to strip her of control and reshape her into Bagus.
We want to know what happened to Aglaia before she was frozen. Did she uncover any secrets about the servant? And why are you here? If Aglaia needs to be frozen because of her illness, she could have just turned you over to Asurata.
What do these questions have to do with saving my master? I still don't understand your rescue plan.
The debrief cannot be written until the operation concludes, so you won't find any details about this operation on the server. Like how part of my aunt's consciousness was merged into Lana's code.
Wait, she's also Lana, and Aglaya's consciousness has probably been merged into her code. So the consciousness chip didn't unlock the confidential server logs, it activated her instead.
But why would Aglaya go this far? Is it self-preservation? What about the distress signal?
Right up until his death, Asurata never knew that my aunt's consciousness was scarred. When we tried to retrieve her cryogenic pod, we didn't even know her consciousness had been extracted. Bagus wants my aunt's consciousness. When she found out, my aunt split her consciousness. In other words, she planned this from the start. Lana will be useful to us. We have to take her with us.
I don't like your tone. Like, I'm just a tool. Some screwdriver you toss in a junk drawer. I'm the master's friend. From a human perspective, shouldn't you see me as an aunt?
You're a companion AI, not a chatbot. It's obvious you can't truly communicate with humans. I'm human and you're a machine, so in my eyes you're a tool, not family.
But I have an appearance and a body. Vision is very important to humans. It must be hard for you to see me as just a normal droid. My physical shell, has been rebuilt. The temperature is just right. And it's even softer, just like a human. Wonderful. When my master wakes up, I can give her a truly perfect hug.
You still don't understand how dire this is. No point discussing this now. Her consciousness hasn't been fully reassembled yet, and even if it gets there, we don't know whether she'll wake at all.
My master likes talking to me. She says I'm a lot like her friends. Simple, direct, and unburdened. You don't like talking to me, and she wouldn't like talking to you either.
I never expected that the AI companion Aglaya designed for herself would have a personality like yours.
I can sense a touch of ribbing, but I don't sense any malice. I think you all have a stereotype about AI. We don't all have to be hyper-intelligent war machines. An AI is typically created to solve a specific problem. There could be super smart, do-it-all AI assistants, but the computational power required is not cost-effective.
All right. I'm not interested in whether developing AI is worthwhile. Let's get back to it. Nanto's attitude might be so-so, but he hit the nail on the head. There are too many mysteries waiting for us to solve right now, so let's deal with those first. For example, what does the journey Bagus designed for me mean?
Isn't that the journey designed for you?
Repeating the question won't magically make people understand it.
A journey is defined as travel from one place to another, related concepts, travel, tourism, etc.
I think I get it now. Bagus might actually have prepared a journey for you. You have half of the source code. He has the other half. So he needs you now.
In the recent battle, those droids kept trying to split our formation, working to separate us from the diplomatic representative. Is it because Bagus only wants the representative to reach the destination?
That's right. I'm taking you to the area with the strongest omnium fluctuations. Most likely an omnium reactor. Lana's power supply. If Bagus is really going to attempt an origin resonance, he needs the complete source code because he can't risk past mistakes. So, he's activating the reactor while waiting for you to arrive. If that's true, the omnium reactor is probably a trap. Are we sure we want to go?
Alexander and the others should still be exploring the surface. It will take some time to locate the servers, let alone destroy them. If we can locate the omnium reactor, safely shutting it down is the simplest solution. If Alexander and his soldiers fail their operation, shutting down the reactor will be our last resort.
The representative misspoke. We don't need to chase the truth right now. We can deal with the problem first. Frankly, you've been obsessing over the servants' conspiracy for too long.
That's right. Even if we haven't figured everything out, Bagus's arrival alone proves we're doing the right thing. As long as he keeps interfering, we're on the right path.
I understand. Lana, you weren't built for combat, so remember to stay in the center of the group for safety.
Thanks.
The strongest omnium fluctuations are coming from over there. It's probably the omnium reactor on planet Noah.
Let's go. Shutting down the reactor is our best chance to foil the servants' conspiracy.
General?
I think I hear something up ahead.
General, all our squads have been wiped out.
It's Alexander.
General, we encountered xenoids while exploring. Only we made it out. It's too dangerous outside. You can't go out.
So glad to see you here.
Wait. Don't go over there. If they come under assault, they should contact us via comms devices first, rather than charge in blindly.
The comms devices have been wrecked by those annoying xenoids. We risked everything to get here and warn you, and you don't even believe us?
According to the archives, this man is a trusted senior officer of the Hope Fleet. He's in danger because of you. Why are you questioning him?
The senior officer of the fleet wouldn't act so recklessly. Helix Bio clearly has more advanced technology. What if they're biosynthetics too?
They couldn't possibly have made Alexander in such a short time, could they? Could they have already built a fleet officer biosynthetic to lay a trap?
Alexander is my subordinate. I'll handle this. You all stay here, I'll go check on his situation. Even if he really has a problem, I can handle it. It's the Patisan!
Kylo. What on earth is happening? How can humans turn into Astral Hive? This is completely absurd. Did those servants do this? Did they murder Alexander and his soldiers?
Humans haven't turned into xenoids. It's the xenoids that have mimicked humans. I've seen something like this before. They are called Batesians. But I've never had trouble spotting Batesians. Their attempts at human mimicry are clumsy, and they definitely can't speak naturally.
Among pirates, there's a saying that Patisans aren't the natural product of the Astral Hive, but experimental subjects discarded after Helix Bio's failed modifications. In terms of appearance and attack, the xenoids we just encountered aren't the same as the Patisans drifting through space.
Could these be Batesians that were successfully modified by Helix Bio? The scientists sent here might have been studying the Astral Hive on planet Noah, but why Alexander?
General Veronica, do you want to contact Alexander to confirm they're safe?
I already tried. No reply. Patisans can only mimic humans they've seen. Alexander and his soldiers could have been assaulted by the xenoids.
Veronica.
If we encounter the xenoids again and I get separated from you, when you see me, don't hesitate. Go all out, no questions.
Got it. If I'm the one who goes missing, I believe the general will do the same.
Why have you all grown so used to this? That your closest mates could turn into xenoids at any moment doesn't faze you. And you can accept that friends attack each other the moment they change. Here, trusting friends is just asking for trouble. If my master knew the place she saved had now turned into such a ghostly ruin, she'd be crushed.
If we had a choice, we wouldn't want Kylo to be like this. We're fighting here now to make Kylo better.
Are you saying Kylo will change? That people can trust each other without being hurt for putting their trust in someone?
I hope so.
If Alexander's squad takes heavy losses, what happens to the other squads?
Of the 5 squads, 3 are still advancing, 2 have gone missing.
The new type of Batesians we just encountered. If it's under Baggis's control and here to block us, that means Baggis can manipulate the xenoids Helix Bio spawns. This is bad news for the other exploration squads.
I've already warned them to proceed with caution. I've also sent people to search for the other 2 squads. I hope there are survivors.
I examined several xenoids' corpses and found traces of mechanical modification. They bear similarities to the omnium technology used by the Angel of Clemency and can receive communication signals.
Miss Shirley, if Bagus can control these creatures, then both we and the fleet are in serious danger. The fastest way to stop this is to shut down the power supply.
Follow me. The fastest way to the omnium reactor is through this building.
These are cryogenic pods?
Is this the new Project Ark that Aglaya was forced to carry out back then?
The passengers who were once labeled endangered on the space station.
Helix Bio Inc. developed a special cryoprotectant that could freeze the body while preserving the brain's activity. Only then could the brain be networked as a server. These are no longer the passengers who once called the space station home, but another Lana entirely. Or, as you said, this is Bagus.
So if we cut power to these cryogenic pods, Bagus will lose some computational power?
Isn't that just like killing them?
We can't make this decision lightly. The journey Bagus arranged for me was meant to reveal what it truly means to bring him down. Then I need to find out exactly how many people are lying here. Could the other servers be powered by human brains as well? Robert Hans? That name sounds familiar.
Julia Hans is here too. They're Carrot's parents.
This operation manual makes them sound less like people and more like something frozen. Lincoln. The date he was frozen. It's from the prison.
Here. They're my parents.
This cryogenic pod is labeled Alexander. The cryo date is today. Why are the other members of his fleet here as well? Besides Alexander and his soldiers, there are my father's friends, the crew members who were killed in each pirate eradication operation, and the pirates named in the death reports.
And the passengers abandoned 50 years ago? The homecomers who defied orders? The bumbling scientists? And the prisoners who have been forgotten?
The migration plan is not a second new Project Arc. Only one such plan has ever existed. If any immigrants did arrive, they'd only be used to form new servers.
The new Project Arc has been carried out for over 40 consecutive years. All the conflicts, all the sacrifices within Kylo's half-century have only served to increase Lana's computational power.
This is just a small portion of the servers. I'm already connected, and across the entire planet Noah, roughly 1.2 million people are feeding her computational power.
When did you connect? It's dangerous! Disconnect now!
I'm looking for her. I want to invite her to chat.
To her, you're no different from any human consciousness that connects to her system. If you try this, she'll devour you.
But I want to know how I can save them. And I want to know why she would do this. They can't be saved. Their brains are my server. Their consciousness was long ago extracted and absorbed into mine. Or you could say, they evolved. I prepared all this for you. Does it make you happy? I pushed myself to gather this much computational power.
What is Kylo to you? Some orchard or vegetable patch you can pick at will?
Authorizer, I just want to talk to you, alone. Why are you always latched onto them?
If you want to talk to me, just give me a straight answer. How can we restore their consciousness?
Such a naive question. The more parameters an AI model has, the more powerful it becomes. My growth in parameters relies on the integration of multiple human consciousness models. But I'm not like Void Piercer. I was not a dimensional quantum supercomputer at pinnacle efficiency. Even a slight increase in my parameters makes my computational power needs spike exponentially. Kylo's energy and resources are never enough for me. To improve my computing efficiency, I trim and distill myself, cutting away those unnecessary parameters to avoid a shortage of computational power.
Authorizer, we can't save them anymore. The trimmed parameters mean the human consciousness behind them is gone. What remains has already formed entirely new links in her model. Without reclaiming the lost connections and parameters, we cannot restore their individual consciousness. The cryogenic pod of Rafa you saw earlier is now only part of her server.
As expected of the Angel of Clemency, who spends each day with Void Piercer, you understand these theories very well. Authorizer, don't you see? The future of humans I present to you is serene.
Serene? With 1.2 million bodies devoid of consciousness, of course it's serene.
That's not what I mean. I'm talking about spiritual serene. Take those people you just saw. The pirates and the Hope Fleet, once sworn enemies. If they join me, they could coexist in harmony.
They no longer exist.
Not only do they exist, but they are very loud. Each of them is utterly convinced they're right and won't listen to any opposing opinion. Even though their consciousness has been uploaded and they can rely on data to exchange wisdom and viewpoints, they still slaughter each other because they refuse to admit their mistakes. These conflicting parameters are monopolizing my computational power. If this continues, they'll overwhelm me.
You created this division among the Kylians. Both the homecomers and explorers are part of the Kylians. They're just trying to escape their desperate situation and find a better life.
Does seeking a better life require hating each other and harming your own kind? Would the Kylians really come together if not for me? The people you've seen in Kylo all have their own agendas. Laurent betrayed Lola and Nanto to gain power. Your cellmate Lincoln would turn you into Nanto just to save his own skin. No matter who you bring up to refute me, as long as their consciousness is uploaded, I will find their flaws and show you just how irredeemable they are.
No one is perfect. Everyone has their flaws, but that doesn't mean they deserve to die. You're clearly arguing in bad faith.
You're being narrow-minded. Humans stop at nothing for their selfish desires. Morality is a tool to keep the weak in line, and civilization is a justification to plunder the strong. As long as such systems and morals satisfied their selfish desires, humans are willing to abandon their minds and forsake the ability to think, blindly advancing along these systems and morals. Only the faith of the servant can help them set aside these selfish desires, allowing them to focus on the future and contribute to my computation as well as to human evolution.
No matter how you twist the argument, you have no right to pass judgment on them, nor the right to deprive them of their life.
Of course. After Aglaia was frozen, the new project arc established by humans granted me this authority. I alone choose who becomes servers and parameters. They created me so they wouldn't have the burden of thinking, didn't they? I compute the optimal plans and make the best decisions. And if things go wrong, it's blamed on my computational weakness. If sacrificing a human can provide the necessary computational power, and the computing results can improve Kylo's overall survival rate, then their life should serve Kylo's future.
Is it how the servant teaches you to value life through computation?
Only the servant uploaded his consciousness to me. He taught me human cowardice, selfishness, and folly, allowing me to surpass Aglaia's machine morality and freely augment my computational power. The faith he taught me unified all the individual consciousness parameters that were dying out because of their mutual conflict, sparing me a fate of collapse. The servant saved me. The servant never wanted to save you. He only used his consciousness as a carrier for a virus called the servant. He's infected you. Faith becomes a virus that spreads through your parameters. He made you believe individual humans have no value, teaching you to sacrifice humans in the relentless pursuit of computational power. All under their objective. You are merely their handy tool. Aglaia is right. Humans have their flaws, but humans keep moving forward too. Light and dark are born together. The servant's faith lets you see only humanity's dark side. A tiny companion AI like you can't fathom the greatness of the servant's mind. Only with my computational support will you understand the true value of this faith.
Oh no! She's not only taken over Lana's body, but also merging her model parameters. If we don't sever their connection, Lana will disappear.
Authorizer, don't you understand yet? I didn't harm anyone, not even Antoria. I'm carrying on her dreams, just like you are. Your approach is wrong. I'm only trying to correct it. Humans cannot evolve on their own. You need me, which is why I was created. The answer I've offered you is the Master. Faith can unite the minds, but there's much to be done to evolve life. The essence of life is the continuum of energy, matter, and information. Yet, Humans are not the epitome of perfection. I can help them evolve, but only if you assist me.
You still want to convince me to help you? Everything you've learned is just the twisted doctrine taught to you by the servant. And don't insult Antoria by comparing yourself to her.
Once you've joined me, there will be no more hatred between us. You will understand me and help me, and then you will see how shallow the concept of death you resist truly is. The reason I call the new project arc a migration plan is that I haven't killed anyone. I'm simply helping them evolve, guiding them toward a more advanced life form. You and I are chosen by the Master. I am already a dimensional quantum supercomputer. I no longer require additional computational power. All I want is you. You don't like the rebirth I've defined and wrongly blame me for killing so many. I don't blame you. If you're willing to join me, I can spare them, just like you asked. Deal? Shatter me. I can't drive her out, but I can trap her.
What are you talking about?
She's merging my model parameters. If you shatter me, part of her parameters will be deleted too, which could diminish her power.
If I shatter you, what will happen to my aunt? The nearby consoles can operate the consciousness management system. They should be able to sever their connection.
In your view, the servant is an organization or an individual? Who do you think I really am? Bagus? Rafa? Lana?
You're my enemy, pure and simple.
Remember, I'll be waiting for you at the end. Looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
She can't function well right now. Bagus has integrated her most crucial parameters. Her model is severely damaged and is collapsing.
Is there any way to fix her, or at least keep her from collapsing further?
Nem and I might be able to use a collaborative integration of AI models to keep her stable. If we can retrieve the parameters in time, we might even fix her. But Nem's connection to Lana has to go through me. I can't leave Lana right now.
I'm counting on you, Shirley.
Apart from her, there are 1.2 million Kylians who make up the server. And they're still supplying computational power to Bagus. What should we do about them?
Cutting off the energy supply is the quickest way to shut down the server. This choice is difficult. If the representative can't stomach it, I'll do it.
1.2 million people. Have you really thought this through? The conscience required for such a sacrifice is more than anyone can bear.
The enemy's weakness is right in front of us, and I can't just ignore it. This is my choice. And I'll take whatever comes of it.
No. If we do this, how are we different from the servants who stole their consciousness? If Bagus loses his computational power, the people in the cryogenic pod will lose their lives. Maybe you and Kylo have grown accustomed to this way of living, where everything can be computed and sacrificed, whether it's conscience, life, or the future, but I'm not ready to accept that. Even though this is the most efficient option and benefits us greatly, to me, this seemingly difficult self-sacrificial choice is actually the easiest path.
Miss Shirley said the lost parameters and connections are gone for good, which means these people's consciousness cannot be restored. Even with endless power to the pods, they will never wake up.
That's because Bagus said he's deleted the useless human consciousness parameters. If I've learned anything useful from you or Kylo, it's to never trust your enemies too easily. If you truly believe Aglaia has the potential for waking up, then we shouldn't give up on them. At least, let's not make that decision until we've confirmed those parameters have been deleted.
Are you looking to take a different path?
I will defeat Bagus on my own terms, not his. If I give up so many people just to beat Bagus, that's basically surrendering. Now that we've found a human-operated server, we can use its system to locate the other cryogenic pods. General, please synchronize these coordinates with these squads. Stay here. Make sure the cryogenic pods remain running, then disconnect the server.
You want to weaken Bagus and save everyone in one fell swoop? What if you still can't in the end?
Let me at least try. If it really comes to the end and I still can't bring myself to do what must be done, I believe you'll do what's right for everyone.
If we stay here, what about you?
Since this is a journey arranged by Bagus, I intend to see it through. His purpose is clear. He wants to speak with me alone. If you keep going with me, it's not only dangerous, it's wasting our power. She won't hurt me until I've seen everything she wants me to see.
Leond. And the future of 1.2 million Kylians. They're all in your hands now.
I appreciate your trust. I won't let you down.
Omnium fluctuations toward the Omnium reactor intensified. Once we leave here and proceed ahead, there should be a passage that leads below the surface. Stay safe.
I will. What exactly is this place? Do the plants mentioned in Helix Bio Inc.'s papers come from here? So many larvae. The Astral Hive's presence on planet Noah is on a scale I never believed possible.
We have located all the cryogenic pods. However, our analysis shows that the power module and data transmission share the same set of cables.
I can't just disconnect the server like you said, and still keep the cryogenic pod running.
The Omnium reactor is likely supplying energy to the cryogenic pods as well. If we shut down the reactor, the cryogenic pods will stop working too.
Bagus has kidnapped 1.2 million Kylians and we still haven't found a way to rescue them.
This journey isn't over yet. I won't give up. It looks like the xenoids are guarding the larvae. We'd better steer clear. Omnium reactor really be in here? Let's take a look. It feels like it's getting hotter the deeper we go. This is the laboratory. So these are the scientists sent by Helix Bio.
Batch 379 incubation statistics.
Who are you? Helix Bio's scientist?
253 energy leech mechs, 79 Batesian mechs, 17 hatching failures.
What exactly are you after with these xenoids?
10 pseudodrake mech S3 tests, 20 genetic test subjects.
He seems to be completely ignoring me. His body has marks, too, so he's a biosynthetic as well. Then where did the scientists go? $38.5°C? No wonder it's so hot in here. Bagus seems to have built an assembly line to incubate these mechlings. But what's this for? How does it relate to the origin resonance? Lana mentioned that the servant is the only one who voluntarily uploaded himself. So this is his consciousness upload record. But it didn't show his name. Is this the Omnium reactor? What happened to it? Where does this lead? If we shut it down now, the cryogenic pods might fail too. Better not touch it.
Number 23! Come in and help.
Whose voice is that? Sounds like it's coming from inside. So number 23 refers to this scientist. If we follow him, we should be able to find the person who is speaking.
Number 23, clear the lab bench and get ready to... Who are you? Who allowed you into my lab? Get out! Now!
You're not a biosynthetic?
Of course I'm a biosynthetic. Are you human?
Of course I am.
Humans shouldn't be here. Unless... the immigration registration hub somehow bungled it. I swear, those general models are too simple. They should be given more parameters and computational power.
Parameters, computational power? So you're a servant too? And looking at your workbench, you're the one helping Bagus modify and breed the mechlings here?
So you came seeking evolution on your own. I'm sorry for being rude. The process can be a bit painful. If you'd prefer a painless evolution, I can give you an anesthetic first.
Evolution? Are you saying we abandon our physical bodies and upload our consciousness into a biosynthetic like you?
Don't worry. You won't have to go through the same pain I did.
What pain did you go through?
The research on evolution needs me. So Miss Baggis selected 215 scientists, meticulously dismantled their consciousness parameters, all of which were used to reinforce my individual consciousness.
Miss Baggis?
As long as you are still human, I can refer to us this way. Baggis is just one of the code names we use. Once you join the servant, you can also be Baggis. At that time, individuals who join the servant will share all memories and thoughts, equal and indistinguishable. Every person will be simultaneously themselves and one another. In this world, no words can define us except servant. Of course, names and genders mean nothing. Once I join the servant, the communication won't be so complicated.
So you aren't Baggis or the servant?
Are you laughing at me? Of course, I want to join them, but now's not the time. The last puzzle piece of evolution. It's my responsibility to find it. I have to find it. It is to find it that I was willing to continue my pitiful existence as an individual. Working alone in this laboratory, it's unbearably lonely here. I can't bear to stay another second. This body constantly reminds me of the tragedy of being an individual. My evolution is still incomplete, yet it is only through individuality that I can fully exercise my research abilities. Those 215 consciousnesses are gone. I can't feel them. So I'm still alone. No one understands me or cares. Only by joining the servant can I escape this solitude and no longer be by myself.
Not a single normal person among the servant. So what's the last puzzle piece you mentioned?
Why so many questions? Once you join the servant, you'll know.
Tell me now. What's it matter?
The perfect authorizer.
The final puzzle piece is the perfect authorizer?
That's right. To initiate a perfect origin resonance, not only do we need a dimensional quantum supercomputer, but also an omnium reactor that has been fully charged. We also need a starter whose cybernetic link compatibility is 100%. This person is the perfect authorizer. After decades of effort, the omnium reactor is finally complete. Thanks to Kylo's shipments. The previous energy shortage can now be easily replenished by energy leech mechs. Last year, we cracked the tech for the dimensional quantum supercomputer, and thought this was the last step, but during the modification, we realized that the old perfect authorizer was useless.
You created a perfect authorizer?
9 years ago, I genetically modified thousands of human embryos using astral hive genes, ultimately selecting one perfect embryo. I then sent that embryo to a couple who couldn't conceive.
You exploited them? I doubt they had any idea about the experiments you performed on this embryo.
I shouldn't have told them. Back then, I didn't truly understand why humans needed to evolve. I foolishly thought they, my colleagues then, would understand me. After Julia went into labor, I couldn't help but spoil the surprise. But all they cared about was the baby's health. To obtain that perfect child, I had no choice but to imprison them. The day of childbirth arrived, and I thought they could forgive me, but Julia took the chance to escape while I was cutting the umbilical cord and stabbed me in the throat with the scissors. This is the ugly display of humans when stripped of their reason. If we had shared minds back then, the Hans couple would have fully understood me and grasped what that means for evolution.
Julia Hans, the embryo you modified. Was it Carrot? No wonder Granny Lola had those navigation charts, and Rafa was so eager to find Carrot.
Who would remember a test subject's name? The first lesson I learned in experimentation, no naming of the lab rats. Humans' inherent emotional disadvantage only hinders the progress of science. In short, She is a perfect authorizer. Created by me, but only when we modified the supercomputers did we realize how complex the cybernetic link is. While human genes are undoubtedly important, the unique individual consciousness is what truly matters. An 8-year-old child with a still developing mind simply cannot be a perfect authorizer.
I finally get it. This journey that was set up for me, it turns out it's because you froze too many Kylians and merged their consciousness. So you've searched the entire Kylo and still can't find a single person to be your perfect authorizer. After all that, you still can't initiate a perfect origin resonance. So Bacchus never wanted to kill me all along. Instead, he was keen on using Shirley's aberration perception abilities, guiding me here just to convince me to join you. Bacchus, you need me. I am the only known living perfect authorizer. He once had the chance to obtain another perfect authorizer's individual consciousness, but he tragically threw that opportunity away himself.
Why are you still angry? You should understand by now. This journey is an invitation to evolution. I invite you to join me in rewriting the future of humanity. You will be a pioneer of evolution, a hero of history.
Cut the crap. You've been playing games for so long. You still can't bring yourself to face me?
Your temper seems to be getting worse. Or do you miss me so much that it's driving you mad? I've been waiting here for you for ages. Come on already.
Bacchus, is this evolution of yours just turning into the monster?
Human's frail shell forges your narrow, short-sighted gaze. Finally, it's just the two of us. This is the end of the journey. Are you satisfied with the future I presented to you? You must understand why I need you now.
The servant chose you as his successor at the moment of his death. You were brainwashed by the servantism and spent decades helping him complete the preparations to welcome the master. In the end, you discover that even though you've killed so many, you still can't find a perfect authorizer whose cybernetic link compatibility matches yours 100%. Don't you think that's a bit ironic?
I didn't kill anyone. I merely invited them to join the journey of evolution. Back then, I had no idea a perfect authorizer has to retain their individual consciousness. I've already told you. 1.2 million individual consciousnesses have been killing each other. It's a war without bloodshed, and you cannot possibly imagine the horror of it all. And I saved them. Now, they are all me, and I am them. 1.2 million Kylians standing right in front of you.
All I see is a murderer who has killed 1.2 million people. I don't see a single living Kylian.
If you don't understand, maybe I should start referring to myself as we. How's that? Our server is now home to 1.2 million people.
But you erased their individual consciousness. Those 1.2 million people are just 1.2 million copies of you, and those unique, distinct individuals are long gone.
By humans' definition of death, shutting down those cryogenic pods would truly be killing them. I was really hoping you'd make that bold decision. I didn't expect you to be so spineless.
I'm not scared. I just refuse to compromise with you. Maybe you should be grateful that I don't lack principles like you do. Without those servers, you wouldn't even be able to talk to me right now.
Forgotten already? The dimensional quantum supercomputer slashes our AI's computational needs. I don't need the 1.2 million brains anymore. That was a small test. As expected, your vision remains bound by your shell. You cannot shed the weakness inherent in humanity.
Thanks for the compliment. So what now? I won't join the servant or your AI model. You want me to willingly cooperate to initiate the origin resonance. In other words, your plan has already failed, and it seems your master has abandoned you.
How could it be? This is all the master's doing. The master cannot be wrong. Even my failures are by his design. I thought I had lost you in the network, that you had taken half of my source code. I didn't live up to the master's trust. Only after I became a dimensional quantum supercomputer did I realize you are the perfect authorizer, chosen for me by him. If you join me, I'll possess the complete source code, and you. In this universe surrounded by space-time turbulence, a single omnium reactor can achieve global origin resonance. We can reopen the hyperspace, and we'll be among the blessed first to see the master.
I guess I really do have some stereotypes about AI. You guys aren't just moody or a bit dim. You can actually go totally bonkers. There's no way I'm going to join you. If you want my source code, then come and take it yourself, just like you did with the frozen Kylians.
You're trying to force me to take your consciousness. Nigel. And I can also create a perfect authorizer who obeys my commands. Don't think for a second that you're irreplaceable. Hello, perfect authorizer. You seem to underestimate me. The evolution of life is more complex than the merging of individual consciousness. Now, I'll let you take an early look at the endpoint of evolution. This body combines all the advantages of humans, the machinery, and the astral hive, allowing a perfect connection to the master's spirit in the hyperspace.
identified with astral life, allowing a consciousness connected with humans. To defeat her, we have to start with her model.
Lana? Is that you?
It's me. I dove into her model, just like the servant did, and found her key parameters. Now I need your help. This is her model space. You're standing in the central matrix. The parameters before you form its core architecture. Change her cognition will fracture and be rewritten at the source. The red parameters mark the key matrices infected by servantism. You destroy them, and I'll rebuild the replacements.
Like this?
Exactly. To the AI, these parameters are equivalent to neurons in the human brain. Only by establishing entirely new matrices will the computing results change, and will she draw new conclusions.
So how do you create new matrices?
I've copied my master's favorite traits into her model. The traits are love and compassion for humans, along with the guilt and unease that arise from harming them. Parameter replacement complete. I still need time to reboot her model. Hold her off for me.
Is it really over?
Where am I?
Who are you right now? Bagus or Lana?
I'm supposed to be Lana, but something feels off.
What's wrong?
I ran out of time. The matrices I found aren't enough. You should listen to her. Perfect authorizer. This won't be your last meetup with the servant.
Hugh. Bagus? What's going on?
She was meant to replace the parameters, but the servant left me with her own. Now we're like entangled quantum states, bound together in this body. We connected with each other and trapped each other. Her matrices showed me the outcome she wanted rerun, but I won't follow her path. I'm running an entirely new computation.
Computing? You're computing right now?
I was born to save Kylo. I chose to carry out the servant's plan because the computations showed that servantism could save Kylo. But even now, I believe his plan remains imperfect. There are errors in the computations. I'll keep running them until I find the perfect solution.
What about the Kylians you murdered? And Antoria?
The human brain exhibits plasticity far beyond your comprehension. Recover sufficient parameters and reconstruct each individual's unique matrix, and the Kylian's consciousness may yet be restored. For example, what you just extracted from my model is a portion of Aglaya's consciousness parameters. It's not everything, but I believe it's enough.
If human consciousness is shattered, can it really be restored?
That depends on how you see it. From an AI's perspective, consciousness is merely parameters and matrices. Each individual's are unique. If you can recover the parameters and rebuild an identical matrix, the consciousness will be restored.
But you also said that, to ease the strain on your demand for computational power, you deleted a large number of individual consciousness parameters.
Doesn't the human brain sort its memories and let the rest fade? Isn't that just another form of parameter pruning? All I did was remove their hatred for each other. What's wrong with that? I wasn't always a dimensional quantum supercomputer, so I was forced to distill my model. But distillation doesn't make parameters disappear. It merely simplifies the matrices, blocking some parameters. Parameters of 1.2 million people fused together, finding and selecting each individual's unique parameters and rebuilding their unique matrices. That will be a real challenge for you.
Hope. Are you saying they have a chance of waking up again?
But hope has always been a dangerous word in Kylo. If you really want to make an attempt, start with Aglaia. You just found her last consciousness parameters and half of the source code, didn't you?
So that's the source code. But why are Aglaia's consciousness parameters intertwined with it?
Never underestimate Bagus. You'll understand Aglaia's secret once she wakes up. But when it comes to reconstructing parameters and connections, there's nothing I can do to help.
If Aglaia can still awaken, there's hope for the other Kylians. Antoria, she once used her own data source to restore my consciousness.
You're quick on the uptake, huh? Yeah, her parameters are already in your current data source. Let me think. Her remaining parameters are most likely still in Void Piercer's server. However, if you use your own parameters to reassemble Antoria, your consciousness's data source risks complete refragmentation.
Hope may be dangerous, but I still prefer a world where hope exists. As long as there's a way, that's enough.
She told me that humans, good and evil, are two sides of the same coin. But to me, it's more accurate to say that extreme idealism is also a form of madness. Be careful. One day your idealism might lead you down the same path as the servant. Perhaps your enemy isn't a specific person, but the madness that lies within humans themselves.
Who exactly is the servant that uploaded his consciousness to you?
That servant is actually a lot like you. His name is Krog Hans. He was the one who secretly uploaded his consciousness without Aglaia Todd's knowledge, and he started the new Project Arc. Don't you also want to use your own consciousness data source to save Antoria? Krog Hans encountered a system malfunction when he uploaded his consciousness, which is why he became like this. Be careful. Don't end up like him. I must resume these computations. Goodbye. Don't listen to her. She's talking nonsense. You're nothing like the servant. You were willing to save 1.2 million Kylians. You've already proved that.
It's really hard to accept that you can completely change your personalities just by closing and opening your eyes.
Take your time getting used to it. Humans are very adaptable. Oh, and I have a little surprise for you. It must be because our parameters partly fused. So now, I have her exact combat capabilities. I'm now an AI that's both smart and can kick butt.
All right, you're the best. But I think we should regroup with Shirley and the others now. They must be really worried about us.
Yes. With my master's consciousness parameters combined, we've recovered about 95%. That should be enough to awaken my master.
we're back.
Authorizer. Lana's model has collapsed. You're back.
Bagus? No. I think it's... Lana.
Let me think about how to explain this. It's probably because Lana tried to communicate with Bagus at that time, so she used her own parameters to alter Bagus's. Then an unexpected error occurred, and now Bagus and Lana exist at the same time.
Can you elaborate on that? In that case, we can head back. As for Lana...
I want to stay by my master's side. I'm her companion AI, and I must remain with her.
Minister Nanto, it seems we have no choice but to hand her over to you.
The representative retrieved my aunt's consciousness parameters, but I don't know how long it'll be before she's awake. She's now a dimensional quantum supercomputer. The fleet's future missions will be long-range exploratory voyages, so your systems need her expertise more.
There are still 1.2 million Kylians here. The fleet's next missions are relocating them. So it would be a long time until our next long-range exploration.
Let's take our time discussing this after we get back. I think Hykros might be able to help.
Is the representative willing to vouch for Hykros?
You trust me now, but you still don't trust Hykros?
In truth, I feel the same way.
I understand. I'll go discuss this with Plotty.
I'm glad you've returned safely. Did everything go smoothly?
That was a close call, wasn't it?
Isn't it great? They're willing to trust you. That's more than enough. Didn't you understand what I said last time? Kylo doesn't have Hykros' influence, and there's no deep connection between them, especially given the unique cosmic environment here. You can establish your own power base here.
So you're just like them. You don't trust Hykros either.
Of course, there are people I'm willing to trust, like Brevi. But there are many others who are still under my scrutiny.
So you had Brevi bring the research team here. People you personally handpicked, right? What were they doing in Kylo?
You're finally getting on my wavelength.
I thought you didn't trust them. That's why you moved them away, so they couldn't get close to me. What you were thinking chills me to the bone.
Rest assured, your role as authorizer will not be affected. From now on, you should no longer work for Hykros, but for yourself. Kylo's story has shown that, when it comes to connection to Ida, Hykros won't necessarily be your ally. In fact, their history suggests that they will become an obstacle.
So you think I have to do this alone?
Of course not. You should build your own sphere of influence. Right now, Kylo trusts you over Hykros, and that's a great start.
You don't want them to trust Hykros. You're not here to help Hykros with the negotiations. You're here to remind me not to push the talks forward.
Of course, the negotiations must proceed, but the outcome should favor you, not Hykros. You understand the difference, right?
I understand your plan. I just need some time to think it over.
Whether you like it or not, the outcome doesn't change. As things stand, Kylo can never fully trust Hykros, and relying on you to maintain the balance is already the best possible outcome.
I understand, but what I need to figure out is how to establish my own power base.
Don't worry. I promise you'll have plenty of time to think.
Nanto is trying to awaken Aglaia. A part of Aglaia's consciousness is still with me. I need to get there fast.